From a working bowling alley made out of Lego bricks to a new and improved Lego McDonald's set, these are some more of the coolest ideas that Lego rejected. For the first rejected idea, I just have to show you the McDonald's set. This is the new and improved one I was talking about before, submitted by Adam Mark. Unlike the one Lego already released back in 1999, the one made by Mark depicts what McDonald's looked like back in the 1950s and 60s when it was first made. Mark clearly did his research too, because this set looks amazing. Not only are the minifigures wearing the uniforms from back in the day, but he even recreated the Speedy system that McDonald's was known for back then. By the way, this system is what created the term fast food, since everything was prepared and handed out to the customer so quickly. It's clearly a super important piece of food history, so the fact that Lego rejected it really just does not make sense. I guess you can't win them all though, so let's just move on to the next reject. This is the Lego Krusty Burger from The Simpsons, and if I'm being honest, this rejection actually makes a lot of sense. In case you didn't know, Lego Simpsons actually was a real Lego theme not too long ago. The first set under the theme was The Simpsons House, which was released back in 2014. Here's the thing though. Only one other set was made under the Lego Simpsons theme, the Quickie Mart, and it was a whole year later in 2015. After this, Lego never made another set for The Simpsons, and eventually retired the theme in 2017. It wasn't for no reason though. Since The Simpsons is known to have some adult themes in the show, a lot of parents were very upset that Lego would promote a show like that to kids. Lego definitely didn't want to be on anyone's bad side, so this is why the theme was retired so quickly. Tying this back to the Krusty Burger idea though, this set was presented in May of 2020, 3 years after this whole scandal was resolved. In my opinion, Lego has literally no reason to make a Simpsons set again after what happened last time, so this rejection was definitely justified. What do you think though? Do you think Lego was right to reject this set, or should they just ignore the angry parents and bring back the Simpsons theme? Let me know down in the comments. Up next is a rejected idea for one of the best Christmas movies ever, The Polar Express. Presented by Mini Brick Productions back in December of 2020, this idea is an absolute banger. In case you don't believe me though, this set got 10,000 supporters in just 2 months. That's right, in February of 2021, this idea was already set to be reviewed by Lego, which is genuinely crazy. Most times, these ideas take months or even years to get 10,000 supporters. So the fact that this idea got it so fast is insane. Let's take a look at it though, so we can see for ourselves why it got so much support. Off rip, it's already obvious that this Lego train is extremely accurate to the one from the movie, and the minifigures just make the set even better. It comes with 8 in total and features the characters we all know and love. Even with all of this though, it wasn't enough to pass Lego's review. I don't know what type of test Lego puts these sets through, but they must be something crazy. I mean, the Polar Express definitely should have passed. Moving on from that though, this next idea is based on one of the most popular games of the last 5 years, Among Us. We all know the game Among Us, and odds are we've all played it too. When it first came out, it was one of the most fun games ever, but even just 6 months later, the hype was dying down a lot, and the game just didn't feel the same anymore. This is probably the biggest reason why Lego rejected the idea. The set itself is super cool and perfectly depicts the original map when the game first came out, and I honestly really liked the idea of converting the Among Us style characters into Lego astronauts. This idea was presented around the game's peak in December of 2020 and didn't get 10,000 supporters until April of 2021. By this point, the game was pretty much dead, so honestly it isn't surprising that Lego decided not to make it. But this next rejection is one I don't think I'll ever get over. As we all know, Lego Star Wars is one of the biggest Lego themes in history. Combining the popularity of Star Wars with Lego, there was no way it could have failed. As a result, fans of Lego Star Wars have been coming up with their own sets and posting them on Lego Ideas for a long time now. And one of the best ideas ever is the Luke, I am your father scene. This is one of the most well-known scenes in the entire franchise, so making a Lego set for it just makes sense. But apparently Lego didn't agree. Now, I know that the pictures provided by the creator aren't the best, but this is something that can easily be fixed by Lego. Luke and Vader will get their faceplates and the bricks will look more like Lego. But apparently Lego decided that all of this wasn't worth it and rejected the set anyway. I have to say, Lego, this is a bad miss from you guys. This set is a great idea. This next rejection though had the Lego community up in arms. On October 27th, 2021, an idea submitted by Puzz Lego hit the ideas forum. This wasn't just any idea though. The idea was a Rubik's Cube that the creator claimed actually worked. Spoiler spoiler alert, it did. And this wasn't the first time Puzz Lego made a working Rubik's Cube out of Lego. In fact, the first one he made was back in 2020, and he even posted a video of the cube to his YouTube channel and broke down how to make it step by step. The video did extremely well and inspired Puzz to make an even better version of the cube. Around a year later, on October 3rd, 2021, Puzz uploaded a new Lego Rubik's Cube video to his channel. But in case you didn't notice, this still isn't the one he posted on Lego Ideas. The video went absolutely viral, having over 12 million views today, but he still decided to improve the cube one last time. The third and final video was posted the same day he posted the cube on Lego Ideas, October 27th, and you won't believe how fast it got 10,000 supporters. In just 6 days, Puzz Lego's working Rubik's Cube reached 10,000 supporters, which is an unheard of amount of time. Even after all of this though, the videos on YouTube, the insane amount of support from fans, and just the sheer size of the entire operation, Lego rejected the idea. I like to imagine that they did this because they need some sort of deal with Rubik's Cube to make this set legally, because there's no way they could have ignored everything that went into making this idea. Sorry, I know I've been yapping about Rubik's Cubes for a while now, so let's get on to the next rejected idea. Up next is an idea based on a super popular TV show from Cartoon Network, Steven Universe. The idea was submitted by Brick Cucumber in May of 2020, and unfortunately, this idea never even got the 10,000 supporters it needs to get reviewed. This really is a shame though, because Brick Cucumber put a ton of work into this set. Not only are the builds extremely accurate to the show, but the minifigures look incredible. Since the idea was originally posted, Brick Cucumber gave tons of updates and was adding new stuff left and right. It mostly consisted of new minifigures of different characters from the show, which I think we can all agree is a great idea. Everybody loves minifigures. Unfortunately though, the idea is now expired, so I don't think Lego will be making a Steven Universe theme anytime soon. Up next is one of the most beloved movies among Gen Z, Lilo and Stitch. This movie is a classic for Gen Z, and the fact that Lego's already made a few Lilo and Stitch products makes this rejection even more confusing. Officially, Lego's released 2 Stitch sets and 2 Stitch minifigures, but they haven't made an actual set, so this idea would have been the perfect way to start it off. It depicts the house Lilo and Stitch live in, which is just a cool house in general. Along with that though, there are 7 minifigures, all of which play an important role in the movie, so having them in Lego form would be super cool. The creator even added not just 1, but 2 flying cars, so they clearly know their stuff. I guess this just wasn't enough for Lego though, since as we know, this idea got rejected. Up next is another piece of Lego engineering much like the Rubik's Cube, where you wouldn't expect it to work, but it actually does. This is a working Lego bowling alley made by Lego Paradise, and I have to say, this is an insanely cool idea. You might be wondering how it's able to function though, so allow me to walk you through it. First, you knock the pins down with the ball, obviously. Then after that, you crank the lever on the back side of the set until the new bowling pins are in place. Once they're in their spot, you crank the lever the opposite way to move the pin holder out of the way. Then, you bolt. Oh, and don't worry about getting your ball back. All you have to do is crank the little gear on the front of the set, and the ball will be flipped up into its respective spot. This set was clearly very thought out and executed with precision, but unfortunately, Lego still rejected it. I have to say, a lot of these rejections make no sense on Lego's end, but this next one might be the most confusing. I present to you the Lego Library, made specifically for Lego City. Before I get into the set here though, I just have to say, you'd think since this set fits Lego City so well that Lego would have no problem making it, but they still rejected it. I mean, just look at this thing. It looks like it's right out of Lego's playbook. Anyways, the idea was submitted by Kiwoo on December 13th, 2021. Right from the beginning, it was obvious that Jiwoo was extremely dedicated to this set. Not only does the exterior look incredible, I mean, the entrance is literally a giant book, but the interior has 3 separate floors that all have their own purpose. The first floor is the reading room, the second floor is the data room, and the third floor is the outdoor rest area. And the back of the set even opens up so you can look at this masterpiece from the other side. I don't know. Like I said before, this is by far the most confusing rejection in my opinion. I mean, this set is just a 10 out of 10. Up next is a super cool idea that might be a little too graphic for Lego to actually make. This is the Anatomini set, made by Stephanix, and do you see what I mean now? The idea behind this set is that we're looking at the anatomy of a minifigure, and since minifigures are modeled after humans, they'd have a skeleton identical to ours. Now, even though I think this idea is super cool, I can see why Lego might not want to make it. Lego has fans as young as 3 years old, and since that's such a young age, Lego might want to let school show them human anatomy instead of one of their sets. I don't know though, maybe I'm just being too cautious. I've seen a lot of different types of this exact idea all over the internet. For this next set though, I know for a fact Lego will never make it. This is the Lego Terraria set, and I can say confidently that this is something Lego will never do. Now, before you start cooking me in the comments, just let me explain. I'm not saying this because I think Terraria is a bad game. In fact, I think it's one of the most important games in video game history. But the fact that LEGO has already collabed with Minecraft would be a slap in the face to the entire theme. In case you didn't know, there's an age-old beef between Minecraft and Terraria players. Each side thinks the other side's game is terrible, so this is a bridge that I don't think even LEGO can build. They managed to pull it off with Mario and Sonic, but Minecraft and Terraria is a totally different ballgame. Good choice here, LEGO. I think you dodged a bullet with this one. However, I can't say the same about this next idea. This is the My Neighbor Totoro set, made by LEGO Truman. The movie this set is based on is a little old, so let me give you some context. My Neighbor Totoro is a Japanese animated film from 1988. Although it was made in Japan, the film became very popular in America in the early 2000s, with the English dub having been aired on Disney Channel multiple times. If you remember my last video on rejected ideas, I talked about the Spirited Away set. Well, My Neighbor Totoro was made by the same studio, Studio Ghibli. In my opinion, every film made by Studio Ghibli could easily be made into a LEGO set. And since the studio is so famous, this is a big part of the population that LEGO is just missing out on. If you're watching LEGO, you should really consider collabing with Studio Ghibli. Not only would it be a generational collab, but it'd be so cool to see Studio Ghibli brought to life with LEGO. Just saying. This brings us to our final rejected idea, and I have to say, it's a good one. This is the LEGO Volkswagen Golf MK1 GTI, and even though it isn't a supercar, this is still one of the coolest LEGO cars ever, in my opinion. Now, I know I said before that the library was the most confusing rejection in this video, but this Volkswagen just might take the cake. Not only is this car absolutely sick, but it got 10,000 supporters in less than 2 months back in 2016. Back then, the LEGO Ideas Forum was nowhere near as big, so that really says something. But as we know, this type of stuff means nothing to LEGO, so the builder made sure to go above and beyond with his research. When creating this car, he made sure that LEGO had the rights to the pieces he was using, and even included them in a list in the description of his set. Even after all of this though, LEGO still decided that the car wasn't worth making, but it was on display at the LEGO house back in 2018 to honor the 10th anniversary of LEGO Ideas. The car may not have been made, but that's still a pretty cool accomplishment. What was your favorite rejected idea in this video? Be sure to let me know down in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe.